Top five, top five, top five.
Something topical, back with another video. I'm Strange Wang. He's Natty No Sleep, because he don't sleep. But today we're doing top 5 Spider-Man villains from the films, because this is a movie channel and not a superhero channel. And the new Spider-Man film is coming out in December. So we're talking about that, but he's going to talk about our social media and how we do our top 5s.
It's true. If you scroll down to the description box below, pop it up, you'll find links to our social media accounts. So go and give us a follow on those. You also find links to our coffee account and our Patreon account. So if you'd like to help our channel grow in a financial way, which is very much so needed, we would appreciate that. If you don't know how we do our top 5s, he's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. Then we trade off number 1s. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher, we won't talk about it till we get to it on theirs.
And be sure to follow him on Instagram, because I've been trying to, because the upcoming release of Spider-Man, I'm trying to get him to post that picture of when he was very, very pudgy in the 4th grade, and his mom bought a Spider-Man suit that didn't fit, but that's the only suit he had for Halloween. It's a great picture.
Rough times.
Yeah. But my number 5 is going to be probably a little controversial, because this movie sucks.
Like a prostitute. Oh, man.
But it is the Sandman.
That's my number 5.
It's a great character.
Yeah,
in a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
The casting is perfect.
Yeah.
And I want to see more of him. So when I saw that Sandy motherfucker in this trailer, I was like, sweet. Hopefully I can actually... Because there's a lot of depth to that character.
Correct.
That we didn't get, because you got to have Venom in this movie. And he's not on that 70s show anymore. Put him in the movie. So I can't wait to see him. And hopefully... I don't think we're going to get the level of depth that he deserves.
Yeah, there's too many villains for that.
But we're going to get him in this movie, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah, easily the only villain in Spider-Man 3 that like you even remotely give a shit about. Like, because Harry in that movie is just very whiny the whole time, and like, to me it should just be obvious that your dad was kind of evil. Evil! And Venom sucked. So it's like, Sandman, the only person with a real backstory that I care about, the only person whose motives even really make that much sense. And it was good.
My number 4 is going to be the Kingpin from Into the Spider-Verse. He's the brains of the operation, man. You know? And he brought together this group of villains to fight Spider-Man. And because of the art design, how big he is, he stands out, literally, because dude's fucking humongous. And it's a fun movie. If you haven't watched it, check it out. And what's a superhero if they don't have a good villain to fight? And the one thing about Kingpin is, he's got the brains, he's got the plan, and he's got the brawn to fight. So it's the best of both worlds, I think.
We went in a really interesting order with our list, because my number 5 was also the Sandman.
Yeah.
My number 4 is also my Spider-Verse pick, but I went with the Prowler. Kingpin's great in that movie. He just doesn't get a ton of time. I understand he's like the driving force behind it, but the Prowler is the one that I care about the most, because that's the one who really has the personal connection to Miles. And like, I like villains with some depth to them, right? And it's like, you get that really interesting dynamic between him and Miles' dad, and that they are like, you know, same upbringing, and then just went like the complete opposite paths that you could possibly go. Character design for the Prowler was super dope. And then like, obviously the scene where he realizes that Miles is Spider-Man and he is about to kill him, and then like sacrificing himself for that, super great. So it's like, you get a really great, cool villain in the Prowler with a lot of depth and dichotomy between other characters in the film, and you also get a good like redemption for him within like the same story.
Dichotomy. That's a $2 word, my friend.
I was going to say it was a $10 word,
But my number 3 is going to be the Vulture.
This is my number 2.
I love the Vulture in this movie, played by Michael Keaton. You know, it's going to be well acted because of that. But me and him have a lot in common. He's just got to do what he's got to do to feed his kids. He does crime. I make YouTube videos. He likes black women. I like black women. I mean, make a supervillain more relatable to me. I dare you. It probably won't happen. I could see myself in him. Hopefully I have more hair at his age, but it's a good villain.
Yeah, it is a really good villain. I really like the route that they take with him in terms of like, he's in the situation that he's in because of Tony Stark. And so, like, just that idea of, like, the fallout of all the good the Avengers are doing. I love that they included things like that in these movies. It's not just, like, the good guys are not just always wholesome and perfect. Like, there's real consequences to the actions that they take. And it's like, yeah, like, Tony kicked his team off the job because, like, he wanted to ensure that this technology, you know, was secured and things like that. But didn't take the time to think about how it's affecting, like, he's just so, like, single-minded, and, like, his single-mindedness greatly affected a normal dude who also just happened to be very intelligent, very ambitious, and a very organized leader who managed to take advantage of some of that. And, like, yeah, his commitment to what he does, I think, is what is most impressive to me, in that, like, he truly believes that what he's doing is justified and is right. Like, there's no like weird chemical that got in his body that's making him unhinged. There's no like radioactiveness that like fucked with how his brain works. Like, this is all just him, right? Yeah. And I love that about that villain, because it does make him super relatable.
He just doesn't want his daughter to get fucked on prom night. My number 2 is going to be the Green Goblin.
I'm assuming you mean Willem Dafoe's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's my number 3, so.
I'm going to switch them, but the reason why this is my number 2, I think, because we are doing movie villains, and this Green Goblin is straight out of Sam Raimi's head, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is not a comic book adaptation of the Green Goblin. It is in a sense, but that costume, it hasn't been duplicated. Like, Vulture, his costume was cheesy. They switched it up to make it more modern. There you see the Vulture, something more modern. This is, costume-wise, directly from the movie. And no one bitched about it. Because this was 2002. We didn't have the internet like we do now. But
now that's really funny.
Played by an insanely incredible actor. Great dialogue. Because the unhingedness, obviously William Dafoe is going to kill that. The suit, the powers, and everything, the depth that comes with that character. It's all spectacular for that time especially. It still holds up today. And he says, Godspeed.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah, he does. He does a great... Yeah. No, I think there are very few actors that can do the completely unhinged thing, like...
Oh, man.
What, did you forget about Peter, Don't Tell Harry?
No. I thought we was going to have 5 out of 5, but I forgot our Into the Spider-Verses aren't the same.
Oh, yeah. It was close, though. Yeah, Willem Dafoe is going to kill playing an unhinged dude. He's got the look and everything.
Like your grandfather.
And so, like, his balance between, like, his kind of jacked up relationship with Harry, like him not living up to his expectations, versus Peter basically being the son that he wanted, like, just as Harry, or as Norman Osborn. And then also just, like, he's a guy who also had an ambitious business idea, and he got fucked by the government. So what do? You say fuck him back, and you just do it. And it didn't work out super well for him, but it is a great character who does have, like, a great, like the 2 line, like his last 2 lines in the movie are so good. And they just really kind of, like, solidify that character as, like, crazy, but then, like, going back to Norman and, like, showing that he does actually give a shit about what his son thinks at the end. It's, like, really good.
Side note. It makes me think, talking about Norman Osborn, it makes me think of that meme, which is my favorite meme of all time, about him wearing a do-rag. I'll put it over Nick, because you don't need to see his face. You probably thank me for not seeing his face, but see that meme right there? That shit's hilarious. But my number 1 is probably his number 1. Probably your number 1 at home, Dr. Octopus.
Oh, mine's Mysterio.
Mysterio, Rey Mysterio from the 619.
It's not.
But Doc Ock, the depth. The depth in that character is something that we haven't seen much since. Even with the MCU, they have flat, one-note villains all the time. This guy, he's got more depth than a garbage disposal. Because it goes down deep, you know. First thing I thought of.
Alrighty then.
The depth in this character is why it's on my list. Because that type of character writing and structure an arc is something that you want to see in movies. You want to see in dramas. I dare say, if you made a top 10 greatest character arcs of all time, you would see Dr. Octopus in the top 10 along with Charles Kane, Michael Corleone. Like, I think it's that good of a character arc.
Yeah.
You serious?
No, I agree. And it's like I think it was hurt a touch by its time, like because of the. But no,
That's his style, though. That's
yeah, no, I know, but like the fact that it's still, because I agree with you. So like the fact that movie is so 2000s and it still feels that way, I think is an incredible testament to like the script and Sam Raimi's directing and Molina's acting and everything. But you're absolutely right. I mean, like, part of what all of Spider-Man's like good core villains, like we talked about, and like 1,000 other people have talked about, you know, what makes them intriguing to the story is that they also have a personal relationship with Peter Parker to some degree. And this one is like, this is Peter's mentor. This is someone he looks up to, someone who is like willingly taking this kid who has lost so much under his wing and said, you are important to me and I am proud of you. And like, we're going to do good work together. And then again, gets shafted by a larger organization and just kind of starts his descent from there, all in an effort to just like do something that he believed in. And his wasn't even out of greed or like this, you know, like Willem Dafoe's Goblin, like he just wants this military contract. But like Octavius like believes in his work and is trying to do good, and then just unfortunately gets corrupted along the way. But yeah, incredibly well acted, incredibly well written, and like easily the best arc of any Spider-Man villain that we could even potentially put on this list.
Probably say any supervillain.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they fuck up with Thanos, and then
yeah, I find it hard to care about his character arc for sure.
And
they kill off all the like,
yeah,
and
Killmonger,
you know,
like you don't really get to see.
I don't know if that's super fair.
Arc.
There's too many characters in Black Panther to focus on that, because like Doc Ock also only lasts one movie, just like Killmonger does, but we just didn't spend enough time with Killmonger.
One movie so far.
One movie so far. That's about to change.
For both characters.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So yeah, there are definitely other villains who have really good arcs that could have rivaled this if they had been done a little bit better, but that's not the world we live in, and like this is it. This is easily the best one.
Tell us down below if we're wrong. We're probably not, because I'm right all the time. He's a broken clock strike twice a day, right? Let's scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe.